Joining me now to discuss the moves in energy, Toby Rice is the CEO of EQT, America's largest nat gas producer. Toby, it's great to have you back. Can I start, just by picking your brain a little bit? If a windfall tax happens there, happens here, what would the significance of that be?
Well, the significance is it certainly would help. It may seem like it would help, but actually would be, I think, destructive long term. Any tax on oil and gas is going to minimize the amount of supply that we're able to put on the market. And the key to high energy prices is more supply. It's that simple. Continuing to beat down this industry has not produced the targeted results. It actually would be adverse to the goals we're trying to achieve. The answer is simple. Embrace the U.S. shale industry. We can do a lot more, and we can add some more supply to address these rising prices around the world.
It's almost, the old line goes, if you want less of something, tax it. So if you were to put higher taxes on energy right now, you'd think you'd get less of it at a time when we want more, which would then almost argue for a tax cut, which I know seems almost ludicrous to propose. But what are some ways to incentivize more production, lower prices, ways to truly ameliorate this issue?
It's very simple. It's more infrastructure in the United States and a voice, a political signal that shows that United States natural gas and oil industry is a strategic asset in this country. It is unique to us. We are the energy powerhouse in the world, and we have an administration that will use this power to combat Russian power that is inflicting chaos in Ukraine and the energy markets in Europe.
I'm curious, Toby, I just saw that Pierre Andorand was making some comments about how he thinks the world can afford to levy sanctions on Russia's energy industry, more specifically oil he was speaking to. Do you think we can afford to levy sanctions on Russian natural gas as well?
Absolutely. And while it's very encouraging to see the world unite and come up with really tough sanctions, the reality is these sanctions do not attack the major source of Russia's power. And that power comes from their ability to export energy. And that is what we need to take off the market. To put this in perspective, Russia exports about 20 BCF a day of natural gas, and they export about 5 million barrels a day of oil. What can we do in the short term, medium term, and long term? In the short term, in the United States, we can eliminate our dependence on Russian energy. That means we're importing about 500,000 barrels a day into the United States of Russian crude. Let's eliminate that. Let's activate Keystone XL pipeline that will bring 800,000 barrels a day into our states from a trusted ally, Canada, and we can get off of Russian oil imported into the United States. From a natural gas perspective, our New England is the only place in the country that imports natural gas. They are going to be impacted by international LNG prices. Let's build pipelines to get them the gas supply that they need. And by the way, it will be very low cost because it's coming from the Marcellus Shale. In the medium term, let's step up and let's serve and replace Russians' natural gas that they export to Europe.
Right.
About 13 BCF a day is going to Europe. Germany has announced plans to increase LNG regasification capacity by 2 BCF a day. The United States should be right there serving this gas as a medium-term solution. And we can do a lot in a very short period of time. And this is something we can minimize the disruptions to the public.
Can we fill that gap, Toby? I mean, if the administration said, OK, we're going to sanction Russian natural gas, can the U.S. and other producers step up into the breach? How much would you expect prices to go up?
I expect the United States would be able to service this. Kelly, you can take this to the bank. If we had political support to do what we do, we would be able to more than offset 13 BCF a day of natural gas that Europe is importing from Russia. We'd be able to do that in a period of time, I'd say less than 36 months. This industry is ready to do this. And you say, well, 13 BCF a day sounds like a lot. Well, actually, the United States is currently exporting almost 13 BCF a day. And we've done that in less than 6 years without any political support.
Yeah.
With the political support, we can do a lot more. We've got the resource, we've got the ability, we've got the supply chains. This is a choice that the administration can make, and we are here ready to deliver.
You know, it's probably going to happen that everything you described will play out over time, but it'd be nice if you could step up in 36 days and not 36 months.
Yeah, well, you know what? There's things that we can do immediately. I mean, like approving Keystone XL pipeline, approving pipelines in New England. I mean, these are things that are going to bring energy security to our shores, which is really a priority that we need to make as we're protecting Americans, and then setting the table for us to protect the world.
Yeah.